Are you ready for our bullish talk show? We got guests for days, all queuing in a row. The biggest names in the DeFi space.
Yo, how's it going here? It's your host, Easy Zabo. Absolutely excited to be here on the space today with one of the biggest influencers coming up in the space right now, Pablo Cro. Pablo, thanks for coming out and hanging out and chatting with us for a little bit about meme coins and Doug the Duck and chatting a little bit with you as well, man. So thanks for coming out.
Yeah, man, I'm super bullish. I really like the whole setup you guys got going on. And I could see this like really shining very soon, especially when like the masses come in and everything. So it's going to be fun, man. We're going to have a good time.
I appreciate that, man. Well, obviously, you know, how I really like to do these spaces is we like to bring people in that have been successful in the crypto space, that are big in the crypto space, to just, you know, talk a little bit about their crypto life, so to speak, you know, where they came up from, what was their introduction into crypto, a little bit of back and forth, just about the speaker and whatnot. So with you kind of, you know, being an influencer and whatnot, it's a unique scenario. Sometimes we've got influencers and KOLs on these Pondcasts, and sometimes we've had actual projects that are really doing something productive for the space, and we have them kind of talk about our project. So this one, you obviously get to talk about yourself a little bit, man. So why don't you give us a little bit of an introduction into yourself and when you, like, I guess, how you learned about crypto and how you came up in the crypto industry.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, before crypto, I was just, you know, your regular 9 to 5, and in my case, you know, I was a welder, so it was more like 6 to 6, which is a 12-hour shift, 7 days a week sometimes. Like, you know, it's a blue collar, you work around the clock. There's no, like, you know, little 9 to 5 life
hustle it. And bad on the eyes too, right? They say the screen time is bad on your eyes, but no, that well one will fucking kill you.
Horrible, man. I mean, you're killing your lungs, you're killing your eyes, you're killing your body, you're killing everything, right? So in 2015, well, actually, right before that, about 2013, I started getting involved with network marketing. And because I was looking for a way out of that, you know, that lifestyle, you know,
getting out of the grinder lifestyle, getting out of the, you know, the trades, if you will.
Exactly. So I got into network marketing, and a couple of years into network marketing, I actually started doing really well. I was leading a massive community of people in network marketing, right? I was already doing well. And then at one of these events, one guy pulled me to the side and he's like, "Pablo, have you ever heard of Bitcoin?" And I was like,
what kind of convention was this at, and how many beers deep was this person in 2014, 2015?
It was so funny, man. And we were like literally in a convention with about 20,000 people, right? It was one of those big ones. And I think it was in Ohio. And this one guy was actually part of my team, and he pulled me over. "Pablo, have you ever heard of Bitcoin?" I was like, "No, man, I don't know what that is." He's like, "Let's walk to the other room. There's like a little meeting going on about this Bitcoin."
Did he know much about it at that time? Was he a buyer? Did he own some?
No,
he just discovering it too?
He was just discovering it too, right? So he's like, they're talking about this new thing. So, you know, we're always looking for new things, right? So I was like, all right, let's go see what's going on in this other room. We go to this other room, and there's like maybe 6, maybe 10 people in that room. Like a 20,000.
Were they financial gurus, or were they just absolute, you know, degenerates, what you'd expect?
They look like a bunch of geeks from the internet.
So the tech, it was the tech, the people that believed in the tech.
Exactly. So I go in there, I sit down, and they're talking about this coin, right? "Oh yeah, you can buy it online. It does nothing. You can't pay nothing. It's completely fucking useless, but it's the future, you know?" And I'm over here like, what are we looking at? What is this, right? And they start talking about blockchain technology. Blockchain, this is the future. I was like, whatever.
The majority of people that own Bitcoin now don't even understand what blockchain is.
No, they don't. And those guys were all about technology, right? And they were saying at the time, Bitcoin was at $500 at the time. And I was like, you know what? $500, what the hell? I'll buy one. So I bought my first Bitcoin, right? They showed me how to create an account on Coinbase, and I was actually able to buy a Bitcoin. And
what was the price of Bitcoin at this point?
$500.
$500.
Yep.
So
Which,
we're at about 120x then, a little over 120x now from that.
yeah, it's been insane. It's been insane because
Right now, are you a never seller?
no, I actually did cheat Bitcoin last cycle. I held it through 2017 though.
Okay.
I held it on the way all the way up to the peak of that bull run and all the way to the bottom.
So sell it. So you wrote it up to 21,000 and then wrote it down to about 3,000.
Yep. And what I did there, I bought more Bitcoin.
You did. Okay, so you DCA'd. See, so this is for all the people that are in their first crypto cycle, right? The euphoria hits. You hit that absolute high. You think it's going to keep going. You've seen all of these different dips that are happening in the market, and it never comes back. So what do you do if that's your first cycle and you've lost all your money? Well, if you're a smart investor, you're DCAing, right?
You buy more. So I started buying more Bitcoins 2017, 2018. I started buying Ethereum. I was loading up Ethereum. And then what happened is Cro came out, right? Crypto.com announced they're launching a token called Cro.
Okay.
And that's when I got super fucking bullish when was it? In Reddit, because that's all the source we had back then was Reddit.
Sure.
And Reddit, all they talk about like 2017 is never coming again. That's all they would talk about. So they were super negative. Like, we are never going to get another 2017 bull run, right? They were so negative. But when Cro came out, bro, I was like so bullish because I was like, dude, if this does go big, people are just going to Google crypto and crypto.com is going to pop out and they're going to have a coin called Cro. You know that's going to fucking send. So that was my degen mentality at the time. We were being a degen with utility coins, right? Which was crazy, right?
Yeah. So you were probably buying Cro back when it was about 11 cents and it peaked, probably close to about 80 cents. But then as we see with, so many of these coins, man, it's all about liquidity. It's all about interest. So, they had to pop off and within about a year, they pretty much almost dropped down to about the same price. So did you make money on Cro?
Well, actually, I bought Cro under a penny.
Ooh, okay.
I bought Cro under a penny. It was December. I think it was either November or December of 2018. I bought it right under a penny. And I actually invested close to $40,000 into Cro.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had the confidence in it at a penny. So when did you look to start selling off your Cro?
I started selling around 70 cents, between 70 and 85 cents. I was pretty much all out.
And what gave you the confidence to sell the peak and sell the top there?
Well,
after the fact that it was full parabolic or what?
After getting full wrecked on 2017, after getting so fucking wrecked, I realized that when the masses start talking about crypto and everybody's just always so bullish on crypto, and we are up 800, 900, 1,000% on the entire market cycle, I was like, I knew the peak was coming. And then that moment when Elon said Dogecoin to the moon, I was like, yep, that's my sell mark right there.
It's so funny, I guess. Here's the funny thing that people forget. The top of WIF, the top of dog with coin was it last year's December or January, or I don't remember what time it was, but it was the Chicago get together, and it showed all of these nerds like in an empty room, like dancing around, and that was like, you gotta look for some of these sell signals, man. When it looks a little bit toppy and people start getting euphoric and crazy with it and laughing about it, it probably generated a lot of great volume and a lot of sell volume to allow you to get out. But so obviously I'm going to guess right now that was the end of the welding.
that was it. I shut down everything. I actually closed business in the middle of 2021. I gave my employees, because I had 4 employees at the time, and I gave them each like, you know, a month worth of salary. Here you go, here you go, here you go. Good luck on your careers. I'm going 100% crypto and no more welding for me. And yeah, I shut down my shop, and man, that was 4 years ago. You know what I mean? I can't imagine going back to that lifestyle. It's such a different world now with cryptocurrency.
So then what did the transition to full-time crypto really look like we hear this story all the time, and I suppose let's call it's the new age American dream. You know, the American dream was getting into the country and finding a good job and building up for your family. Now with open border policy, just about anybody can do that. The new American dream, the new American dream is hitting the gold rush on crypto and being able to quit your day job and do what you want to do. So tell me, so you succeeded, you absolutely nailed the top. What did starting as an influencer in 2021 look like, going into essentially a bear market?
Yeah, it was brutal, because I knew it was coming. I knew the bear market was coming, and I knew that money was going to roll down from Bitcoin down to micro caps, right? I knew that because I seen this before, and that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to take some of my money that I made in blue chips, and I'm going to start aping it into some of these meme coins. Because after buying Doge and SHIB and seeing the potential, then I rolled into Saitama, right? Saitama was my next play. When I joined Saitama, Jake Gagan was barely starting to talk about it. Russell was like the only one in the fucking Telegram. It was crazy. Like, the beginning of it all was just kind of weird. There was another lady before Russ, and it was just like, there was so much going on with Saitama. It was weird. But that was the next meme coin that I jumped into after Shiba Inu, and that's at that moment in time I was like, look, you know, I figure out how the cycle works. I figure out how to find the top. I figure out how to kind of calculate where the bottom is. I mean, nobody ever gets tops or bottoms perfect, but at least you can get an idea of where it is, right? And I was like, and that's when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my own YouTube channel and try to educate people on these things. And guess what I did? I started a YouTube channel and went full fucking degen. That's what we did, bro. We went full degen.
Starting to get heavy into meme coins is what you're saying, and maybe avoiding blue chips.
Yeah, that's when we started just going full ape on meme coins. That was it. That's all we started focusing on, because at the time the blue chip was no longer a buy. If you bought at that time, you were gonna ride the whole wave down, right? So jumping into meme coins made sense, because they were gonna have their moment. They were gonna have it was called like the blow up top, right?
Yeah.
And meme coins were gonna do those crazy X's, and we saw it with Saitama, and then we saw it with Shibnobi, we saw it with Volt Inu, we saw it with so many meme coins along the ways, and it was just one of those things that kind of just started kind of rolling in for me as an influencer. But you know, it was crazy. It was like a transition from a welder to an influencer was so dramatic for me, right? Luckily, in between that, I had a little bit of network marketing skills, which comes with people skills, and I was able to kind of connect the dots. And then I was like, okay, so we like to buy coins that have no purpose now. They're just bullish and they're funny. All right, let's fucking push meme coins. And that's what we did, man. That's what we fucking did for the whole bear market, was just push meme coins. And it almost felt like a bull run, because, you know, you've seen it before with meme coins. One day you wake up and you could easily do 1,000x, 100x.
Oh yeah, depending on when you get in and stuff. And I mean, at the end of the day, these meme coins, they've got no financial value, you know, no intrinsic value. They have no guarantee of returns, no guarantee of money. You know, Doug the Duck is obviously 150% a meme coin. There is no guarantee of a financial return by buying Doug the Duck. But where the power comes in is from the community. And you never know who's going to step into the community and who's going to want to invest a lot of money into the community and stuff. And, you know, it's just, and what makes a good meme coin a good meme coin. So, like, obviously we're here 2024. Meme coins are essentially, let's call it the NFTs of this cycle, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So in that regard, with them kind of being the NFTs of the cycle, when normies really start getting into it and they see the gains that can be made on projects beyond the blue chips and the high market caps, obviously, I think all of these coins that are sitting on some of these exchanges like MSI and Coinbase and, obviously a lot of the first listers, let's call them the tier twos of the Solana meme space, there's going to be a big flow of income into those projects, whether you think it's at the bottom or not. And obviously the people that are still kicking around trying to put money into projects, those are the ones that are having success. Like some of the biggest projects that we saw when Solana meme coin season really started, before there was this congestion wave, were, projects like Honk and projects like Pen, like Paying, like Penguin. And some of those projects, they had blow up tops, but then, the team kind of abandoned it. I mean, Long Nobiko coin, the Nobiko cat, right? That one's one of those coins that essentially just started to get some neglect, and people just didn't want to invest in the community anymore, regardless of what the influencers were that were essentially pushing the project. So I think at the end of the day, the projects that have essentially maintained notability through the last 6 months of this sideways trading market are really about to pop off going into the next wave up, where people are just, where blue chips are just absolutely skyrocketing. They're filtering those returns into low caps to maximize their other low cap returns. So like as the money really starts to move around, like that's the exciting part of the bull rush. And obviously you've been here since 2015. You've seen the 2017 cycle. You've seen the 2020 cycle. Do you actually legitimately feel like we're top heavy right here? Like, or is this just the start for you?
No, this is the bottom. So, for example, we're looking at Bitcoin at 60K, right? I believe that Bitcoin in the bear market will floor out about 60K. That will be the floor of Bitcoin after we have a massive pump, right? And the reason why I say that is because usually with history, Q4, that kind of tells you around where the floor will be next time. Does that make sense? So what's going to happen is, like I've been saying this all over my social media, I believe that Bitcoin is going to hit 215,000 this cycle.
Okay.
That's my price peak for Bitcoin is 215,000. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because, like, whether Trump wins or Trump loses, it's going to happen regardless. Because look, in 2017, Trump won, right? Trump won. In 2020, Trump lost. And both times we had a bull run. It didn't really matter. Now,
that is fair.
You know what I'm saying? So what's going on in 2024 is going to be, the same scenario, because crypto, the beautiful thing about crypto is worldwide. It's everybody. It's not just the US. It's the whole world, right? And that's
one could argue that a lot of other countries are ahead of the US as far as crypto integration, especially, Venezuela and now El Salvador, Saudi Arabia, right? And UAE. So exactly. All of them are a little bit more. I mean, shit, man. Even the European Union started passing legitimate crypto legislation while we're still sitting over here haggling. And you know why? They don't want to regulate it, because when they regulate it, that's when they make it safe for the masses. And currently, BlackRock and all the biggest institutions of America are absolutely cleaning up with the supply right now.
They are, and it's going to keep happening, right? And let's say Trump wins, right? Let's say he does, then we're going to go full send instantly. And let's say he loses, then we're going to have like a retraction, and then we're going to go full send. That's right. That's going to be the two outcomes of this bull cycle.
Well, I'd like to postulate something too. I think if Trump gets elected, it's going to be a blow up top, especially if he creates a strategic reserve. That is going to start a mad world dash to try and get Bitcoin and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think what at the end of the day is the biggest interesting aspect of it is that Bitcoin is a hedge to the US dollar. And the dollar index and Bitcoin work inversely. I'm a big technical analysis guy. So typically when you see the dollar index goes up, Bitcoin goes down and vice versa. And they've been actually trending along the same direction recently. But every time we start to see rate cuts, that's when the dollar index goes down because there's less demand for US bonds. So that's usually when you see a big Bitcoin spike. And of course, I think what's crazy is election day is on November 4th, with announcement on November 5th. And November 5th is the next FOMC meeting that I feel like everybody is sleeping on, where they're going to either cut a quarter point or half a point. So that's going to lead to a Bitcoin increase, I think, no matter who gets elected. And I think that that's some of the most important thing is what comes out of this FOMC meeting just as much as what comes out of the election.
I agree. And I just wanted to say that, I don't really care, to talk much about what side I prefer, but I want people to understand that, no matter what, we're having a bull run. So don't fumble your bags, don't cheat, don't get scared away for the outcome.
Right. Just because Trump doesn't get elected doesn't mean that crypto isn't going to make its advance.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So if Trump doesn't get elected and we get a 5% dip on the market, hey, buy some more of your favorite coins because it's going to pump again. And we're going to, because look at what happened in 2020 COVID. Everybody thought that we were going to just go to shit. They thought that crypto was going to go to zero. And instead, we had a beautiful 2021 bull run. You know what I mean? Don't let those.
There's a lot of savvy Chads eating up that COVID dip, man.
Yeah, man. It was COVID was the most bullish thing, man. Because look, I bought land, I bought a new house, and I bought a shitload of crypto because I knew that the 2021 everything was going to go full send, and it went full send in the house market. It went full send in land, gold, crypto.
My wife and I, we bought a house not too long ago, and that house is appreciated by 50%. We're actually looking to kind of advance and maybe move on to a new one here soon. But I mean, the appreciation of houses, I don't know what your thought is about recessions. Obviously, we've been due for a recession for a very long time. And when the inverted yield starts to reinvert, that's when you see problems. And when rate cuts start to happen, that's when the true problems really start to come alive as people, start to wind down their different hedging. So in a lot of different regards, there's no guarantee that we're going to escape a recession here either. And every time you see a recession, or you see, once again, recession is usually when demand for the dollar is going down, dollar index starts going below 100. That is just going to skyrocket Bitcoin. And I mean, we've already been seeing the hedge of the US dollar. I mean, look at gold. Gold is creating new all-time highs every single day. It almost seems like they know something.
They do. We're about to have a crazy economical movement in the entire world, and in the next year, in 2025, the whole market of money is just gonna go bunkers. And this might be one of those years in history that people talk about for the next 50 years.
I think Bitcoin is going to go on a major cycle expansion that's going to last upwards of, like you said, 8 years. When the gold ETFs launched, that was in 2023, and gold basically has gone only up since. And we've already established ourselves as a more successful ETF than gold right off the bat. So I think what's interesting here is that, we're going to see this huge expansion. We now know that, the US dollar is printing $2 trillion. US government's printing $2 to $2.5 trillion every single year. They are depreciating their dollar at ridiculous rates. There's no way that you can continue to have a deficit of $2 trillion and hide this scathing inflation that's happening, even if you're lying to people. And that government debt's not going anywhere. There's the possibility of student loan forgiveness not happening. So we could see student loans start to go default. You're seeing more homes go default. You're seeing cars go to default. Credit card balances are over $1.4 trillion now, on upwards of a 22 to 25% average rate. And the average American savings is at below 3%, which is even worse than the bottom of the 2008-2009 mark. So, I mean, like you said, they've been floating this thing to the election to try and give Kamala a chance to win. And a part of me thinks that it doesn't matter who wins after the election. There's just going to be this huge implosion with all of these different risks out in the market. But You never know. I mean, I've been probably, predicting a recession based on the commercial mortgage real estate market for a number of years now, and it hasn't come to fruition. I almost feel like the guys from what's the 2008 movie, Big Short. Like, what the fuck is going on? Delinquency rates for commercial real estate, if you didn't know, for offices, for retail, and for malls and hotels in America is over 8%.
Yeah, man, it's like, it's one of those things. Like you can only focus on what you can do for yourself as an individual, right? And that's where crypto and meme coins and opportunity comes in, because if you figure out how to fix your personal financial problem, then the rest of the world crashing, it's like, it's whatever. If a recession happens, good. You can buy land and property for a discount. That's how you have to look at it.
The people that are sitting on cash are the most successful. Theoretically, cryptocurrency, how easily it is converted to cash, you really see yourself as very cash rich as long as you're controlling your volatility.
Exactly. So guys, don't waste your opportunities. Get yourself some quality coin. Get yourself some the duck coin, man. Come on. Get yourself some coins, because they're gonna full send. When everything is said and done, a lot of the projects that have been here for the last 6 months to a year, they're going to send. And there's nothing that anybody can do to stop it. There's really not. As long as they have a heartbeat, a community, and they're showing up on Twitter Spaces, and they're showing up on live streams like the one we're doing today, those projects are going to send. Because right now, anybody in the masses could be on YouTube right now searching for a meme coin, and boom, this pops up. What the fuck is Doug the Duck? It's bullish. I'm buying it. You see, and those are the things that are going to push projects to mega numbers. That's why when I created tickertrending.com, I knew that this time will come. I knew that the bull market will come. So I actually been planning this platform for like a year and been working on it in the background, and we finally launched it a few days ago. So I think we're good.
Well, for my viewers and myself, do you want to go into talking a little bit more about Ticker Trending? I mean, we'd love to hear about it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think, yeah, man, you mind if I share a screen? I think it'd be good.
Please do, man. We love when we do that here.
Yeah, let's share a screen. So let's see. Can you add it for me?
I think you just got to click present down there at the bottom and then share screen.
Let's see. Well, it says I have to stop screen. So I think the whoever's running the live stream, the StreamYard has to approve it.
Okay.
So
yeah, we'll get buckets to approve that here. But while he's getting that figured out, do you want to? While he's getting that figured out, do you want to go ahead and just chat about it for a second, or maybe even if you'd rather show it like up on the screen, which I would like to see too. Maybe just talk a little bit about briefly about launching MSI, right? Short for Monkey Shit Inu.
Yeah. So Monkey Shit Inu, man. It's, first of all, it's a funny ass name, right? It's catchy, it's unique. It's a one of a kind. It's a first mover. It's everything of its own. And Monkey Shit Inu actually came back years ago. That name was invented years ago. It wasn't something that just popped up. It was made years ago. And the reason why is because, like, we go back to my story. I was big on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and blue chips, right? And everybody started running to meme coins. So I was like, oh, there goes the next guy running to the next Monkey Shit Inu coin.
Yeah.
And that was a terminology I would use to make fun of meme coins, because I was like, all blue chip, right?
Yeah.
So the more I used it in my live stream, the more I used it in my everyday life, I was like, you know what? One day I should launch Monkey Shit Inu. It's actually gonna do well. The name is so dumb that it might actually send, right? That was my mentality. And about July 3rd, we launched MSI token, July 3rd. And it was obviously a terrible day to launch it because, it's the holiday weekend. Everybody's gone and doing their thing, in the US at least. So it was a terrible day to launch, but we actually had a very successful launch day and a very successful month of July. going into August, we actually hit an all-time high of 25 million. There you go. Oh wait, what is this?
Is this this is Monkey Shit Inu on Solana, right?
Here, I think you got the wrong website.
Okay.
Whoever posted on there, do tickertrending.com. Could be a dummy or a knockoff or something. What you got on the screen. So guys, be careful that you're not using any other site. There you go. Make sure it's tickertrending.com. There you go. There you go. So, yeah, see how you're controlling the image.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so yeah, we launched MSI on July 3rd, and we hit an all-time high of 25 million, which was super bullish for a coin that was actually my first ever launch coin ever that I ever launched, and it hit 25 million.
I have seen this in this outlet pretty recently here, so I didn't know that this was something that you had created. The really awesome interface, by the way.
Yeah. So we launched MSI, and we actually released a few utilities very quickly the first month. We got listed on Gate.io, Mexi Global, DigiFinex, and a few other exchanges the first 30 days. We released Visa services, Apple Android services, Apple Pay, and we also dropped a DEX called ShittySwap.com just for entertainment. That was just pure fun, right? It actually works. You can trade on it. You can trade your shit coins on ShittySwap.com. But recently, we launched TickerTrending.com. Now, TickerTrending.com is a more serious utility, right? Yeah, go ahead and click on my picture. It's a more serious utility, right? TickerTrending.com is designed for people that, want exposure and want to trend their ticker. That's basically the name, right? Makes sense.
Sure.
You go in, you submit, you create an account right there. You create an account with your email. And then after that, you can submit your ticker. It's super easy. It's fully automated. So when you submit a ticker, all you do is you fill in information with all the socials, the logo link. And then after you submit all your information with your contract address, your DEX screener address, everything, you press activate, and you actually go live right away on trending.com. So it's like it's a listing. Think about it like a centralized exchange listing.
Sure.
But it's a self-automatic listing where you can go in there and just do it yourself. The do-it-yourself platform.
How has activity to the site been right now? What's your daily kind of user count?
Well, if you go, for example, back to click on MSI, since it was the first one I launched, click on MSI again. It actually tells you the views on your project. Let me show you.
Okay.
So you see right there that says
2,455.
Yep. So it tells you how many people go and look at your site, and it does live tracking all day, every day. So when you're wondering, okay, how is XPX doing? When you click on XPX or you search it on the search bar, and then it tells you how many people saw it today. Look, there's 288 people have seen it. It literally launched a few hours ago. Okay. There's already influencers supporting it. Look at the influencers right there on the list, and it's amazing. Like the Doug's
we're at 606.
Look at that. See what I'm saying? And
scroll down a little bit on that one.
Yeah, and you see how you try to like, but you couldn't? That's because you need to create an account. Got it? And if you don't have an account, you can't help trend the project. You have to create an account. And that filters a lot of bots, a lot of bad things, right? I see. Mm-hmm.
Well, that chart looks pretty damn bullish to me too.
It does. The Doug is bullish. Here, let me show you one more thing. Go up. As you can see, you have a video, and you can actually play the video within Ticker Trending. Isn't that cool?
Let's play that, Vitor.
Play it.
Old Elon and the asteroids injecting roids books up from Big Gamma famous hype. Doug is on a quest, and now he needs to take over the main part and surpass his old crew. But the memes look up. This ain't no hero. And the red yell board went down.
And then
that's awesome, man. That that video for us has actually got us over 250,000 views on YouTube.
And look, you know how you press a name and it's not there? It's because it's not listed. See what I'm saying?
I see.
So it filters the tokens. Think about it like an upgrade of Deck Screener. Deck Screener lists us everybody, but you have to go in there and update the socials, right? Yeah. TickerTrending.com. If you don't get listed, you're not there. So it gives the other projects more exposure. See what I'm saying?
No question here. Deck Screener charges people to like update their account profile. Do you have intent to keep this as a free to use website?
Yeah. So for example, like users, you don't pay anything ever. You'll never pay anything as the user. As a token, you pay a listing fee of 1/4 of an Ethereum one time, and you can go to your account and you can update your socials whenever. Let's say you're a CTO, right? And eventually somebody, takes over. That person can just transfer them for the login information. They can update the new socials, or they can reach out to the team and we can, close down that account and open a new one for you. You see what I'm saying with the new CTOs. So you're never going to pay any extra. You're never going to pay anything extra. Everything's going to be fully automated. You go back in there. Let's say how you guys recently got your Twitter shut down, right? Recently.
Sure.
If for whatever reason you couldn't get that back, you can still go to your TickerTrending.com account and update your new Twitter without ever having to reach to the team.
Well, we absolutely love that. The interesting thing is like this last week where unfortunately we got our email hacked, but was able to quickly get our accounts back online. Before that, we lost our account a couple months ago when Elon Musk and Donald Trump were doing their first, spaces. They had so much activity on like the feed, for the live feed that ultimately they just started banning people that were posting because they were trying to slow down the servers. So Doug the Duck got essentially caught up in this spam debacle. We lost our account, and we lost it for almost a week. And usually when accounts lose their project for like a week or lose their Twitter for a week, like that's usually like a death sentence. And I thought what was interesting is that like we're on so many different social media outlets. We've got 25,000 followers on Instagram, 50 on TikTok. We've got 7,000 in our Telegram, 35,000 on our YouTube, a couple thousand on our Reddit. Like we have so many different outlets, very similar to like Ticker Trending, that like we were still able to get a message out there to our community that like, hey, we're still around. This was just a mistake. We'll have our account back in short order. And being able to give that sense of comfortability for the people that were invested in the community, we were able to really kind of hold down the chart, and we've essentially gone up about 150% since that whole debacle, and held a pretty amazing floor at like 900,000. So super bullish that like the community picked that up, and there's been so much transfer of coin through the last 2 to 3 months of just trading sideways that like the people that are holding now are the ones that truly believe in the project, and they're going to be rewarded here soon. Because like I mentioned, we are very, very, very close to closing in on YouTube monetization to the tune of, multiple thousands of dollars per month of income that's going to start being brought into the community and into the project to continue the building process. So it's something we're super excited about, like getting 35,000 subscribers on YouTube. You'd be hard pressed to find some of these influencers with that amount of subscribers.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we've got, we're pretty close. We're at about, we only need, I think maybe 200 to 300 more hours today. Or I believe like as of right now to hit that limit of YouTube monetization. So, obviously for everybody that's listening here on the space right now, if you want to help Doug the Duck community and you want to help us get closer to monetization, the best thing that you can do is go watch all of our episodes from our comic book series. Every comic book series that we do for like the final, we do them every 2 weeks, and we follow it up with a YouTube video. And a lot of those YouTube videos also have over 200,000 views. I mean, Pablo, I mean, you probably think this is pretty crazy, man. I think we're closing in on over 1 million views on our YouTube profile account.
That's insane, bro. That's insane because it's, I mean, as a YouTuber myself, that takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and you guys have done it very quickly. So big shout outs to you and your team, man. You guys are killing it.
Yeah, well, we've got some expert, like you said, you always got to have a good expert marketing guy. We've got some good marketing guys. We've got devs that are still committed to the project. We've got 2 original artists that were there from day one creating the content, and it's very original content, and I think the people like it, you know. And we don't get too overzealous with shilling out there, but also, you know, we understand that there's so many different outlets and ways to get your voice out there for a project that's really putting in the work, and the people that see the work that's getting put in. You don't necessarily need to tell people every single day what you're doing and go out there and chill every single day. It's when you're doing it with the right people under the right circumstances and talking about what you're putting forth and stuff. Like, because me myself, like when I find a good meme coin, I'm holding to the cycle. You got a diamond hand kind of for the cycle and stuff. If you really want to see those huge growths, other than dipping your toes into micro cap projects. But
yeah, you have to buy with conviction, bro. And honestly, that's why I created tickertrending.com, because I wanted to filter projects that had conviction, right? Yeah, and it actually helps a lot, because a lot of the communities that you see on here, they're actually been grinding for a while. They're actually like positioning themselves for the bull run. So a lot of these projects are going to do fantastic, and a lot of it is going to be because the communities are working every day, the team is working every day, and that's what you got to focus on.
This is a wealth of data for you to have. You know, I'm just going to say that right now. I'm surprised if Dex Screener doesn't start rolling up and, you know, knocking on your door, wondering if they could buy out your website and stuff, because this is a pretty amazing website. I think the only thing that might be missing is maybe like an announcement board or an attention board where owners can post to people that are looking up the projects on Ticker Trending. But considering the lockout that you have on creating accounts and everything, like you said, you're able to avoid a lot of the bot situation. So you're getting true data of the people that are interested in meme coins currently. Those could be very good buy signals. If that's something that you are like you said, you've got the super trending on the far left over there. You know, obviously that can be a very big buy signal for somebody.
Now, what's really bullish, let me tell you a little bit more about this whole platform. Like right now, we're not done. This platform's not completed, right? We still have a lot of updates coming, a lot of social media that we're going to be integrating into tickertrending.com. You're going to be able to follow each other. You're going to be able to follow specific influencers. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be updated in tickertrending.com. The looks of it, there's going to be a few updates. We're bringing a lot of stuff that's going to be very, very useful. We're going to drop it into, like, for example, categories where you can like find coins that are meme coins and utility coins under this, right? And within the list, we're going to do a lot of little updates that are going to make the platform a lot better. But the most bullish part about the whole thing is if, for example, Doug the Duck, let's say you have a bullish announcement coming, right? Let's say you have something super massive coming. You can actually go onto your account and you can say, hey, you know, I want to trend right before I make the announcement. So you trend, you pay for trending. Let's say you pay for 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, whatever you want to do. Then you make your announcement and boom, you're trending number 1, trending number 2. And it brings you that massive exposure as you make your announcement. You see what I'm saying? And that creates a lot of good things, because, for example, how do you trend on Dex Tool? Well, shit, you have to have a lot of volume, right? And if you don't have a lot of volume, you don't trend. And if you have a lot of volume, you might trend for 2 seconds, but then you get flipped by the bigger projects instantly.
Well, and those projects like have the volume bot go into a high order of magnitude to try and push themselves up on the chart.
Exactly. So
they even said a while back, like the Dex Screener, like top trending was probably the quickest way to get rugged, considering that most of the volume is like just completely botted at this point.
Exactly.
I'd like your understanding about where the meme coin position really is right now, because like now that we've seen so many different launches and it's almost free to launch on Pump.Fun, and just about anybody can basically blow up the pump.fun account to get it, shot quicker right to Radium. It's quicker than launching it the old way now at this point, right? I mean, what do you think this is doing for the state of memes? Like, we've been starting to see a lot of the OG memes run again, like Myro and Whip and Popcat is still running, and Fwog is doing amazing. And you're starting to see a lot of these older blue chip meme coins, if you will. The OGs are starting to essentially come up and run again. So, I mean, do you think people are getting sick of this pump and dump pump.fun market?
They are because what's going on with Pump Fun right now? 99% of those tokens become a CTO within 5 minutes, 30 minutes, right?
Less than 0.001% of them end up getting to the chain, and then when they do get to the chain, even less of them get to over $1 million market.
Exactly. So it's just people are just struggling to make money now. So what's happening is they're falling back into projects that grind every day. It's like
they're not cycling their coin anymore.
Exactly. They're actually going back to investing versus day trading. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the cycle that's what's happening. And it's like
the capitulation phase, right?
Exactly. And if you notice, a lot of the projects that we listed on Ticker Trending, these are projects that are doing spaces every day, that are on Twitter every day, that are grinding every day, right? And that's kind of like the direction that I want to push this market, is to find those projects, right? To find those and bring them on the platform so they can, a lot of these guys, let's say, for example, Sharby buys Doug, Sharby buys Wicked buys Doug, and all these community members are good investors. They're diamond hand investors. And that's what we're all looking for, right? So we're all looking for.
Yeah, your use case is a lot similar to what we had this last week. We had the professor. I don't know if you know who the professor is, but he's an influencer in the space responsible for the lab project. And he created essentially a website for, DeFi degens to be able to kind of like report bad influencers and give like reviews on projects and like a little bit truer sentiment than just your typical, what are you seeing in the comments on CoinMarketCap, and do you see any comments in Deck Screener, what's in the TG, so it's just another outlet. I think it's all good for the space, and at the end of the day, it's about how you market it, right? Because I mean, you're not going to get a ton of views to the website unless you're doing good marketing, and having that marketing background obviously is probably directly influencing the amount of traffic that you're getting to your website.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're doing really well. Traffic is amazing. I mean, think about all the times that anybody launch any utility. Like, it's so quiet, nobody knows about it. It takes forever. I mean, you go back and think about DEX tools, for example. I mean, shit, we didn't even hear about the DEX tools for like a year into it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it took a long time for people to hear about these platforms. Now, tickertrending.com is moving a lot quicker. Today, I actually did my third buyback today, and that's 3 buybacks of $3,000 each, and that money is coming from the revenue from tickertrending.com. I created a Docs wallet called tickertrendingcom.eth, and now that wallet is ranked like 103, 105. So it's about to enter the top 100 holders, and it's just going to keep climbing as we continue to make revenue, as we continue to buy up the chart, as we continue to push MSI token to a higher floor, as we continue to help these projects get exposure. A lot of these guys have done very well. Most of them are up 30, 40, 50%. Speedy listed on Ticker Trending around 19 million, and boom, they went to 45 million. So a lot of that is happening within the platform, right? You're getting some big projects and some little projects, and nobody's favoring anybody. Like, if you want to trend organically. You guys were trending organically a couple of days ago, yesterday probably.
All our stuff is completely organic, man. I don't see the point of trying to fake subscribers or fake people or fake followers. What's interesting is like, our content is so good. That is what has led to a lot of followers on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and whatnot. But like, you look at our Twitter and stuff, our Twitter is at going on 6,000, I think, right now. And I mean, those are true followers. Like, there's a lot of projects that kind of bought their followers, right, and stuff. And our Instagram, our Telegram is right around 7,000, I think. So, I mean, it's pretty impressive stuff.
And you can tell when projects bought their X, right? I mean, they're sitting on 3 likes and they have 100,000 followers. It makes no sense, right?
or they've got more people in the live spaces than they do on their Twitter account.
Exactly.
Bye. It's going to that.
It's so obvious, man. It's so
or like buy chart.
Exactly. No, but it's super bullish, man, and it's like you gotta plan for the future, and that's exactly what I'm doing as a developer, as an influencer, as an investor. You got to plan for the future. Like I'm holding quality meme coins myself. Like I hold Hop Dog, I hold Doug the Duck, I hold Speedy and quite a few others. And I actually created a wallet specifically for projects that list on Ticker Trending. If it's bullish, I'll throw $100 at it. And I actually bought 7 projects yesterday, $100 each. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I do that just to show them affection, show them support, and you know what? You never know. One of those might do the next 1,000x. You know what I'm saying? So we're supporting as much as I can and as much as we can, and I think it's working very well.
Beautiful, man. Well, I do appreciate you telling us here about Ticker Trending and stuff. I know I think it's a really great thing for the space, and it looks like it's an honest description of what's going on with all the individual projects and stuff. You know, I think anytime you're building something like this for the community, it shows you care. So I really do appreciate that, man, and I appreciate you giving us some information about MSI and all the things that you guys have got going right now.
Absolutely. And, you know, just know that we're having Memes for All every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Anybody that wants to come and get some exposure on Twitter, they can just follow me at Pablo_Cro, join some of these open mic events. We are going to be having like those mega spaces like we had on Monday. We're going to do that like every 3 to 4 weeks. And we had what, 40 projects plus open mic. We end up having like about 4,000 or 5,000 views, something like that. And we had about 20,000 plus interactions within that that Twitter space. So
that's amazing.
You know, we're giving the communities that believe in tickertrending.com, we're giving them a platform to not just show charts and show visibility, but also come and talk in person and tell us about their project. So it's fun, man.
Beautiful, man. Well, we got about 5 to 6 more minutes here in the space, so we'll just give a quick update here on Doug the Duck and do a little bit of a sign off.
I fucking love your guys' memes, bro. Like, they're so fun.
For obviously, you know, like leaning into that, like everybody make sure that you are following Pablo Cro. He's one of the best up and coming influencers. His spaces are killer. They've got a lot of memes that are up on the space. Unfortunately, we missed the last one because we lost short access of our account, but got it back quickly, but unfortunately missed the space. Otherwise, we would have loved to have been on there. If you're an MSI fan, follow Doug. If you're a Doug fan, follow MSI. Let's get these communities together here a little bit more and stuff. For those that maybe don't know a ton about the Doug the Duck community, obviously Doug is a degenerate duck that was left behind at the pond by all the other famous memes. So he essentially has gone out and gotten roided out so that way he can become a famous wrestler and beat up all of the existing, I guess, highest market cap memes, and beating up slowly and bringing them back to the pond to essentially be a friend again. This is kind of emulated in a comic book series that we do every 2 weeks, followed up by a YouTube series. So check that out. If you go to our website, dougtheduck.com, you'll see, some sections about how to buy the comics, all of the cartoons, content library if you want to create your own memes. We've got a shop where you can buy Doug the Duck merchandise, And then, of course, we have our recently updated Doug Giga Lab, which allows you to create your own Doug the Duck PFP with eyes, accessories, background color, and now, of course, somebody else to kind of beat some people up. So check that out. Check out our website. Lots of great content. And as I mentioned before, we are very close to YouTube monetization to the tune of thousands of dollars every single month because of our YouTube outreach. We're at over 1 million views across all of our different line items. We're closing in on 40,000 subscribers. So please make sure that you watch the live feed, the entire live feed here. Tell your friends about it, share it out. So that way we can get more people watching and help us close in on this monetization. So please remember also that we do Tuesday game nights with multi-channel streams. So make sure to tune in to those on Tuesday nights. So with everything that we've got going here, Pablo, we really appreciate you having us here today. Why don't you give us a little bit of a sign off for MSI, and then also, actually, why don't you let us know like what you think about Doug the Duck? If there's anything you think we can improve on, do a little sign out for MSI, and we'll close out this thing.
Awesome. Now, first of all, man, like what you guys are doing with the whole the images and the memes and all that, man, that's so bullish. People are gonna just love this podcast. They're gonna love this channel. You guys are gonna get a lot of revenue. And, you know, in my prime, I'm going to tell you this, in my prime of YouTube, when I was like doing it pretty hardcore, pretty big, I was getting super chats and all that stuff. I was generating about $10,000 a month. So I believe that you guys will do very, very well, especially when you already have a community that backs you. It's going to do well, and you're going to be able to create that revenue you need to pump your chart. Now, on the side note, I don't see anything else that you guys can do for that. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to. You guys listed on tickertrending.com. So guys, if you're watching, just search Doug on tickertrending.com, buy it directly from there, and boom, you're good to go. As far as MSI goes, we strongly believe that we're going to be a top 100 coin. I'm going to tell you how we're going to do it. We are going to help hundreds, then thousands of communities get exposure, get marketing where everybody else declines it. When CoinGecko says no, when CMC feels too expensive, when you can't update your stuff on DEX tools, TickerTrending.com will be here to support you. And that's going to be a huge narrative going into this bull run, especially when we're doing massive spaces for these projects that are sitting around 100K market cap or below, or 1 million or below, and they just don't know, they can't afford a centralized exchange, for example. You know, if they want to list on an exchange like 10 grand and they don't even get the proper exposure. Instead, you come to tickertrending.com. It's a lot cheaper. You get some tweets out, you get some live streams out, you get some spaces out, because not only are we going to be doing spaces, but we're also going to be doing live streams on my channel. And we're going to be pulling up the screen and what's trending, what tickers are this, what tickers are that. And we're going to constantly be giving these projects exposure on YouTube, on X, and everything. So that's going to help us generate proper revenue. And then from that revenue, we're going to push the value of MSI tokens weekly, monthly, daily, depending on how the money flows in. So we've done think about this. We've done 3 buybacks of 3,000 each this week.
Those are solid, man. I mean, that's what we hope to obviously do a little bit of with Doug the Duck. You know, we want to invest that money that we get essentially from YouTube monetization back into the project. And one way you can do that is pushing it back into the chart. The other one could be finding other ways to push out content or advertising. But ultimately, we're pretty excited for this money source fund to be able to kind of get into that position.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice because now you can actually improve your project, right? And you know, you're going to reward the believers. That's the main thing. Because, you know, of course, people are going to come, they're going to make a few X's, and they're going to move on to the next one. But you're going to have that community, that hardcore believer community. And those are the guys that are actually going to get rich. Those are the people that are actually going to make a lot of money, because you can trade a few $100s a day your whole life, or you can invest one time and get fucking rich. Those are your two options, right?
Yep.
So people just gotta see the vision. They gotta see the vision with what you guys are doing. They gotta see the vision with what MSI is doing. And if they don't see the vision, bro, just know that somebody else will. And somebody will take their spot, and somebody else will grind with us and take us to the top together.
Yes, sir. Well, man, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here on the space and on the Pondcast here today. Super excited to have a KOL influencer of your stature on our space. Was super excited to hear your story today about going from full-time real life into crypto, and what that transition looked like for you, and what your thoughts were on the crypto market. Man, we went over a lot of different fun stuff here today, and really appreciated having you here today, Pablo.
Hey, man, the pleasure was all mine. And yeah, man, keep adding Doug the Duck on your portfolio.
Yep. Don't forget about some MSI and check out that PFP generator that we've got on our website. So with that being said, we'll close out here today. We appreciated our last speaker, and we'll cue the closeout music.
Hey, are you ready for our bullish talk show? We got guests for days, all queuing in a row. The biggest names in the DeFi space. Black, white and yellow, guests from every race. So hands off your dick, cause now you're in love. We're talking crypto daily with a big pump duck. Big duck energy, let's make banks fast. Come chill with us here on the Pondcast.